Today, I'm going to show you how to bring this photo to life. If you are Adobe Lightroom user, whether it's mobile app, desktop version, or classic, feel free to follow along. We'll be using curves, color grading tool, and a couple of masks, nothing fancy. If you're new to my channel, my name is Oz. I like to keep the steps as minimal as possible. Looking at the histogram, you'll notice there is no data in the highlights. Why? Because I intentionally underexposed the sky to retain the details. The first step is to adjust the exposure. We bring out the details in the bright and dark areas. Now it looks well balanced. Moving forward, we'll work on the clouds to make it more dramatic. Click on this button. Select Linear Gradient Mask. You can hold and drag to expand the mask. You might wonder why I don't use the AI detection for the sky mask. It depends. For this particular image, I prefer a more natural gradient rather than a hard edge. Within the mask, apply the haze to further enhance the cloud's details. Let's reduce the saturation slightly. Next, we'll work on adjusting the colors of the trees using tone curves. For those unfamiliar with curves, here's how you can approach it. Add control points in 3 areas: midtones, shadows, and highlights. In this graph, you will find 2 values, input and output. By adjusting the curve up and down, left and right, you can alter the brightness. Repeat the process for RGB channels. Raising the curve, increase brightness. In Lightroom Classic, you can enter the numbers here. Each channel corresponds to 2 colors. In the red channel, add some cyan to the shadows. The colors change instantly. It might look unnatural for now, but don't worry. It's about how the RGB 3 channels work together. Apply similar adjustments to green and blue channel. The colors in the trees look richer now. I like to bring up the blacks for a matte tone, rather than making them entirely black. The next step is split toning. We'll be using color grading tool to add a warm tint to highlights and a cool tint to shadows. Begin by choosing the color using the outer dot. Then increase the saturation by dragging the center dot outward. If you find it hard to control, you can also use the sliders. Luminance is the brightness of the color. Brighten the shadows a little bit. The focal point of this image is in the middle. I like to make it brighter. Go to Mask. Select Radial Gradient Mask. Increase exposure, highlights, and shadows. You can fine-tune the effects using this slider. You can always go back and refine the shape of the mask. So far, everything looks good. For the final adjustment, I see there is a shift in color in the clouds. Let's fix it. Go to the curves and reduce red in the midtones. There we have it. To recap, we first adjust the exposure and followed by enhancing the clouds with the haze. Then we use RGB curves to bring out the colors of the trees, the 3 pies for split toning, color contrast, lastly, brightening up the main focal point. I hope you learned something new and apply these techniques to your own photos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.